Hi everyone, my name is Morgan Crawford. I am in the NLM 572 class with Professor Price. This is my Real Utopias project with the Greyston Bakery and Foundation. So the Greyston Foundation and Greyston Bakery have been serving Yonkers, New York since 1982. It was founded by a Zen Buddhist entrepreneur, which I was very intrigued and kind of giggled at to find because it seemed very random that he would be all three. But after learning more about the bakery and the foundation, it makes sense. His name is Bernie or Bernard Glassman. He also started the Zen community of New York. Bernie is originally from the States, but he traveled abroad for Zen teachings. And when he returned to New York, he returned with the belief that there was a way to make a profit while benefiting the community at the same time. And he returned with this philosophy in the 1980s in New York, and there were a lot of economic struggles there at the time, so it was a right place, right time kind of a thing. The foundation and bakery have path-making programs, community wellness programs, as well as an open hiring philosophy in their bakery. They employ members of the community who likely would not have been employed other places due to background checks. They focus on creating delicious brownies in the bakery, and I know that they are delicious because they can be found in Ben & Jerry's ice cream, such as their half-baked ice cream, which is one of my favorites. They are bringing change to their community by employing and empowering people to work and learn how to build a better life for themselves and their families. So to start by diving into the bakery and the foundation, I'm going to start with the path-making program. The foundation collaborates with their employees and people in their community who are facing barriers regarding work and their life path. A quote from their website says, "Each year, Greyston serves approximately 5,400 individuals who hail from all racial, ethnic, and religious backgrounds, generally ranging in age from 17 to 65, and are primarily residents of Southwest Yonkers." And I was really intrigued to find that out because not only are they helping people who are entering the workforce, but they're also helping people who are older and helping them reintegrate their lives and working and building a sustainable life for themselves, which I think is really special. The path-making program assists people in being self-sufficient in all areas, guiding them through their options as they seek opportunities to gain employment and better their lives. And a lot of this begins with the open hiring program. But before the open hiring begins, there is the path-making program in which they are pointed in this direction. So from the open hiring program, they can gain employment experience, and this also plays into their workforce development and community wellness goals. So open hiring and community wellness. Open hiring is where magic happens at the bakery. This is where they really tap into their community wellness factor by helping people who normally would not find jobs at typical places with background checks. And what's special about the bakery is that while normal or traditional HR departments spend majority of their time going through screening processes and interviewing candidates, the bakery and their HR department, they say, write down your name when we have a position open. You can come and start with us and we can go from there. So HR is mainly for the apprenticeship for when employees first start, and job development once they're past that, as well as benefits and compensation for their employees. A direct quote states that when people say they want to work, we give them a chance. No questions asked, no resumes, no interviews, no background checks. Greyston Bakery is proof that it works. It produces 40,000 pounds of world-class baked goods daily for companies like Ben & Jerry's and Whole Foods Market and retail customers through its online store. Greyston's community wellness program also plays into what the open hiring philosophy does. It makes sure that its employees are taken care of physically and emotionally. Taking note that paying attention to these things makes for better employees. So their philosophy is that if employees are happy at home, if they are fed well, if they are physically active, if their emotional needs are taken care of, they will produce better results for the company and make brownies. So part of that work is through a community garden, and that's also part of the community wellness program. The community garden assists in food security and nutrition education while inspiring physical activity. So the asset-based community development of open hiring, the ABCDs, I learned a little bit more about this through listening to a podcast, the Conscious Capitalist podcast. That's where current president and CEO of Greyston, Joseph Kenner, spoke. He spoke about inclusive hiring and about it being the future of work. And he talked about a lot of his staff saying that they felt like they had been turned down from every other job before they found the bakery. So whether or not that is the future of the work across the nation, I can't really say. There are a lot of jobs still across the nation that have a lot of sensitive natures to their work. But I think that when it comes to work such as bakeries, delis, restaurants, stuff like that, I feel like open hiring could potentially really be the future of the work. And I encourage everyone to listen to that podcast. It's a little over an hour, and he really dives into why it works. And there is a testimony to that. In one of Greyston Bakery's blog posts, they introduce a staff member named Devon Cardwell. He has moved from apprentice to lead operator between the ages of 24 and 27. And really that means that he came to them and wrote his name down, a position opened up. He began his 6-month apprenticeship, and then he was hired on full time. And since then he has been promoted to lead operator in the bakery. One of the lead operators at least. And Devon in the blog post speaks about how he came to the bakery with open honesty. He said, I have aggravated DWI, I have legal troubles. I just want to learn and work though. I want to do better. And they helped him achieve that. Devon in the blog post stated that he loves working at Greyston Bakery, and he has even recruited a family member to an apprenticeship position. So his little brother now works at the bakery as well, and he's really proud of the work that he does. He now considers himself to be a middle-class working individual as well. And a direct quote from his blog post, which I found really inspiring. He says, and I tell everybody, I'll make sure I tell everybody where I work. If I see somebody, we put the brownies in the ice cream. It's a feel-good moment, really. I've got to tell somebody I work for a company that is doing great things. We make the brownies that go in the ice cream. Baking brownies is a social enterprise. So one of my questions when I first wanted to study Greyston Bakery was, why brownies? And while I couldn't really find an answer to that question, I did learn that in the 1980s, Bernie had great luck by meeting up with Ben Cohen and Jerry Greenfield of Ben & Jerry's. And Greyston Bakery has been supplying baked goods to Ben & Jerry's for over 25 years now. So that's close to the amount of time that the bakery has been open. So while I can't say specifically whether or not that's why they started baking brownies, I feel like that played a large role in it, but that's my opinion. And I did find a New York University case study around social enterprises that was done on the Greyston Bakery, which was a great resource. And I found a perfect quote for the work that is done in the bakery. It says, social enterprises are designed to be profitable businesses, but their profits are dedicated partly or entirely to serving social goals. The Social Enterprise Alliance defines social enterprises as organizations that address a basic unmet need or solve a problem through a market-driven approach. And I think that really is what the bakery is. The bakery and the foundation itself, they both address an unmet need, and they solve a social problem of Southwest Yonkers, New York. They hire people who are within that community who have a history of criminal activity, who have a hard time finding jobs. And, when you don't have a place to go and you don't have a way to better yourself, it's hard to get out of the cycle that you've been in your entire life. And the bakery solves that problem. It says, we will hire you. We will teach you how to do this job and do it well. And we will help you meet your needs when it comes to housing, food, emotionally. And they really do. They're an all-encompassing organization that helps and cares about its employees. And because of that care that they have for their employees, they produce great results in their bakery. So they are an organization, in my opinion, that addresses an unmet need that is basic and solves a social problem through a market-driven approach, which is the selling of their baked goods. So in conclusion, I think that Greyston Bakery is really amazing. I was really happy when I found out that these are the brownies that go into Benny Cherry's ice cream. I never knew that, so learning that felt really special. It felt like, oh my gosh, yeah, I have some of that in my freezer. Like, how cool is that I'm studying this? And even though it seems simple, it's like I find that I really connect with food. That's how I connect with people, and so it was a nice way to connect to this organization. But nonetheless, I think that they're really innovative in their open hiring process. I had never heard of open hiring before this project. Everything that I know about it, I learned through the Real Utopias project. It seems like it does amazing work. While I don't think it's a one size fits all solution nationwide to people who have trouble obtaining jobs, I do think that it is a great solution for certain areas and certain fields of work. And while I don't know where employees who started at the bakery are now, I know one of my questions was, where are they now? I couldn't find an example of an employee to say where they are now. I mean, I found Devon Cardwell, and he's still with the bakery, but I haven't found an example of someone who's moved on from there. But I feel like whether or not someone has and they've gone on to do great work, or if they still work at the bakery, this bakery is providing care for their employees and compensation that builds a foundation for them to build a better life. And sometimes that's all somebody needs, is someone to take a chance on them and someone to give them an opportunity to do better for themselves. And this bakery and this foundation does that. And it's really inspiring. And I was really thankful to learn about it. I was really surprised at first that a Zen Buddhist entrepreneur would start something like this in a big city. When I think Buddhism, I think about grassy fields and monks and silence. And so hearing about a Buddhist and entrepreneurs are very fast paced in my head. So it didn't seem to mix at first, but now in conclusion, I really see how it fits. While this is an innovative idea and Bernie is an entrepreneur, he is also somebody who cares about the community. And so entrepreneurial items can care about the community at the same time. And I think that that's why he created this, to prove that. So yeah, I was really happy to study about the bakery and the foundation, and I hope you enjoyed my presentation as well and learned something new. So thank you.